Welcome to Tantrum House Studio 3. I'm Sarah Meadows.
And I'm Liam Meadows, and today we're going to review the game 1775 Rebellion.
"1775" is a historic Revolutionary War area control game for 2 to 4 players by Academy Games.
In the game, players are either controlling the British regulars and loyalists or Patriot militia and Continental Army.
There are 3 scenarios you can choose to play from: the 1775 campaign, the Siege of Quebec, and the introductory scenario.
The board is set up for the campaign you are playing.
Each player gets a planning board, a deck of cards for each faction they are controlling, and corresponding cubes and dice. In a 2-player game, each player controls both factions of the side in a war, and in the 3 and 4-player game, 2 teams are formed and each player controls 1 or 2 factions. Each faction's turn cubes are drawn from a bag each round, so turn order is random.
On your turn, you draw 3 cards from your deck and then begin playing 4 phases of play.
During the reinforcement phase, the player distributes 4 new armies from the supply and any other units who have fled the previous battle.
During the movement phase, you play a card from your hand and move your armies accordingly.
Moving units into empty spaces means an automatic victory. Moving units into occupied spaces means a battle awaits.
During battle, each faction will roll the dice.
Outcomes include attacking the other army, fleeing the battle, and a blank side, which is the command decision. The faction leader may choose to retreat to an adjacent space or stay in battle.
Once all the battles have been resolved, the draw phase occurs, then the player draws back up to 3 cards.
There are cards in each deck that can modify your recruitment, movement, and battle phase actions. The Patriots can deploy French allies, and the British can send in German Hessians. The Native Americans changed sides several times during the war. If you move into a space with Native Americans, those units will join your faction. If you lose those units, they are no longer allies with your side.
The player that controls the most colonies at the end of the game wins.
So Liam, tell us what you liked about the game.
I liked how it helped me with my history, because that chapter was really hard for me. So that really helped.
Well, cool. Some things I liked about the game were the setup was actually fairly easy, even though the board was very complicated and there were lots of cubes that had specific locations to go to. The iconography on the board was simple and easy to follow, and then the 2 other scenarios had very easy, quick directions on how to modify the setup for those 2 campaigns. I also like that you only had a hand limit of 3 cards, so your choices were very limited because you have a lot of spaces that you could move into and try to overtake other players on the board. But with your cards in your hand, it helped bring it down to just a couple of decisions, and so it made it much easier, and it made it easier for younger players to catch on. Did you have a side that you liked more than the other?
I don't know. I like both of them a lot.
Cool. I did too. They had different cards in each deck that did different actions, and they were historical. So some of them were specific people that came to help a side, or events or battles that were won by a particular side. So they gave bonus points to a side and helps that came in, like the French helped the Allies and the Hessians helped the British. Those were both things that happened in real life, and they included it in the game. Well, Tantrum House gives 1775 2 thumbs up.